would you do if you got sick but didn't get better? That's what happened to me when I was 5 years old. So my parents took me to the and were shocked to hear the diagnosis that I was type 1 diabetic. They really didn't know what that meant. That afternoon, I took a nap, then went to check in at the hospital for a not-so-fun visit of 6 days. My parents and I soon learned what it meant to be type 1 diabetic and what I would have to do for the rest of my life. Now I would like to share some of those things with you. Type 1 diabetes is a chronic illness in which your pancreas doesn't produce insulin to regulate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is located behind your stomach. When you eat food, your body tells your pancreas how much insulin to send out to the sugars into energy. In someone who is type 1 diabetic, their pancreas doesn't work, therefore will not send out insulin and have excess sugars in their body. A lot of times people confuse type 1 when they are actually quite different. In type 1, the pancreas does not work at all. It will give off no insulin. In type 2, the pancreas doesn't make as much insulin as needed, or becomes immune to insulin. Those who have type 1 will have it for as long as they live unless there is a cure. Those who have type 2 take medication to control their insulin production and absorption better. According to the Centers for Disease Control, in 2010 there were 333,000 existing cases of type 1 and 2 diabetes of people ages 18 and up in Wisconsin alone. No one knows for sure what causes diabetes. It can be hereditary, but that is not always the case. There has been some speculation that some viruses or your environment could have something to do with what causes type 1 diabetes, but those are not proven causes. Dr. Ellen Connor from the Pediatric Endocrinology Department at the UW Clinic told me that although type 2 diabetes is the most common type in the United States, the diagnosis of diabetes in a young person under the age of 40 years should still be considered possibly type 1, especially if any weight loss occurs with ketones right before diagnosis. Type 1 diabetes can occur at any age because it is an autoimmune disease. If you have ketones in your urine, that means you don't have enough insulin in your body to turn sugars into energy. Some symptoms to look for in a potential case of type 1 diabetes are weight loss, hunger, thirst, and lethargy, just to name a few. Once you have been diagnosed, there are many things that you have to do to take care of yourself. You would first have to check your blood sugar before every meal and before bed. The target range for most people's blood sugar is 80 to 140. How much insulin you have to give yourself will depend on what your blood sugar is or what you plan to eat. You can give yourself insulin by injection in your thigh, stomach, upper arm, or buttocks. Another way that they have come up with to give insulin is by a pump. It is a little device that looks like a pager with a tube connecting into your stomach. The pump acts as your pancreas would by giving you constant set amounts of insulin all the time. Then, when you eat, you have to tell it to give it the right amount as your pancreas would. If you eat and don't get extra insulin, then your blood sugar will go up, and you may get super thirsty, have to urinate more frequently, or just not feel very good. When this happens, you need to get more insulin in your body and try to drink lots of water, which can help get rid of some of the extra sugars. If you have too much insulin in your blood, your blood sugar can go low, and you could feel shaky, more irritable, and won't concentrate very well. When this happens, you need to eat something right away. Low blood sugar is very serious. If it gets too low, you can pass out or go into a coma. Things I like to keep with me in case of low blood sugars are a tube of frosting, a package of fruit snacks, or a juice box. The drug company Novo Nordisk says that over a long period of time, high blood sugar levels can damage organs of the body. If high blood sugar is left untreated, it can lead to things such as kidney disease, which can lead to dialysis and kidney failure, eye disease, which can lead to blindness, and nerve disease, which can lead to amputation. I have just covered the basic facts about type 1 diabetes, from what it is to how it is caused, and lastly, how it is treated. I hope that you have all learned a little bit about diabetes. You can't tell if someone you know has it or will get it, but now you are a little more prepared with the basics.